Let me get there a second. Okay, sorry. Well, good evening, racing fans. My name's Tony Bachhoven, and good evening. Welcome to Knoxville Virtual Series race number 2, presented by Champion Race Promotions. Glad to have you with us tonight. 39 Knoxville Raceway drivers signed in for competition tonight on what is yet another big purse here for Knoxville Virtual Racing. $1,500 purse here tonight, and boy, we've got a lot of great sponsors that have contributed and we're excited about it tonight. 39 cars. What a great field here for night number 2. Again, presented by Champion Race Promotions. Tonight we have $100 put up to win for a $300 purse for the winner. $300 prize for the winner. $100 put up by Higday Lawn Care, $100 put up by Champion Race Promotions, and $100 put up by Wayne Johnson. One large pizza goes to the winner of tonight's A main and B main, courtesy of Corleano's Pizza. $25 put up to win the B main by Design Metal Art. $25 to your quick qualifiers put up by Kyle McCullough, hostiowa.net, along with a $200 bonus for a perfect night. So that means quick time, win your heat, win the feature, you'll get a $200 bonus from Kyle McCullough. $50 goes to the hard charger tonight that has been put up by Best Christmas Ever of Iowa and True Build Construction Services. And Diamond Auto Detailing LLC has put up a $300 gift certificate to your 7th place finisher in tonight's A main event. Top Shelf Racing Podcast has put up a $25 off of a year subscription of My Race Pass Insider to the highest finishing Pro Series driver. And Sign Creations and Brandon Worthington Racing has put up $25 to 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th place finishers tonight. Shane Phillips and TL Racing are coming back for yet another week. They've put up a $50 in tear-offs to the highest and lowest finishing Bell athlete here tonight. And Premium Sprint Car Parts Nate Mills has put up $20 to 6th through 10th and $150 in store credit if someone comes from the B main and wins tonight's A main event. And Hube's Garage in Knoxville has put up $50 to the last finishing race car on the lead lap of tonight's A main event. So lots of cool cash and prizes here tonight. $1,500 purse for night number 2, brought to you by Champion Race Promotions. And a special thanks goes out to the Knoxville Raceway and tonight's broadcast live on Pushing the Cushion YouTube channel. And special thanks to Alex Hanna Gaming for helping make this happen. Eric Arnold, who has done a lot to help make this come together as well, along with Jamie Ball and Cade Higday. So the drivers are out on the racetrack now doing a little hot lapping. We'll be going into qualifying here in just a little bit. Of course, a lot of racing has went on virtually since we were last together 1 week ago on Thursday night. Of course, Kevin Swindell doubled up on the FS1 World of Outlaw broadcast. So congratulations to him. And tonight, we're excited to get the second of 3 nights of competition underway. Of course, Chase Randall, last week's winner, the young man from Waco, Texas, back again tonight. He pilots the EMI Bush's Chicken Kaiser Wheels entry, and it'll be fun to watch the 15-year-old get after it here again tonight. Of course, we're very excited to announce that our sponsor tonight, brought to you by Champion Race Promotions, also a marketing partner of Matthew Johnson's sprint car that you'll see racing at the Knoxville Raceway each and every Saturday night. So if you go to their website, you can find out more about Champion Race Promotions, and that's Champion Race Promotions, all one word, championracepromotions.com, and you can find out more. They also have a Facebook page, facebook.com/Champion Race Promotions, again, all one word, and you can find out more about the brand that Lori Cutler can help you with. Of course, Lori Cutler, the founder of Champion Race Promotions. Champion Race Promotions was founded by Lori and has come on board as a title sponsor for the second Knoxville Regulars Virtual Spring League, airing Thursday night, April 16 at 7 p.m. in collaboration with Matt Johnson and Jamie Ball. Of course, they race with us full-time at the Knoxville Raceway. Besides adding to tonight's purse, Cutter will be offering the top 5 drivers of the B-Main a 30-minute complimentary sponsor strategy session. The live broadcast is being produced and aired by United Dirt Sim Series, Pushing the Cushion Productions, as I mentioned, on YouTube. So go to YouTube. Hopefully you're there, and you can like and follow them so you can see all of the great productions that they put out. And again, you can find out a lot about Champion Race Promotions by going to their website, championracepromotions.com. But they have a unique approach to promoting racing. They offer the Suit Up, Show Up branding coaching program. It helps drivers identify their core values and then builds a strategic program to attack partners, sponsors that align perfectly with these values and vision. They have a sponsor relations analyst, which works with teams and sponsors to optimize their advertising dollar. They help create sponsor activation and hospitality programs, review of existing sponsor activation and programs, along with sponsor proposals and feedback, as well as writing and producing press releases. So lots of great things for the drivers and teams that you see compete each and every week at the Knoxville Raceway. And again, you can find out more about Lori Cutter and her team at Champion Race Promotions by going online to championracepromotions.com or follow them at Facebook, Champion Race Promotions, all one word. So an exciting night. Again, the cars are on the racetrack now doing a little hot lapping. The guys getting used to the track a little bit. Of course, not everybody racing as often as some of the guys. I know a few of our competitors here tonight do quite a bit of sim racing. So I'm going to read down the list of names here of just a few of the cars that you'll see competing here tonight. Of course, from Ottumwa, Iowa, Mike Mayberry. He drives the Fire Coat Custom Powder Coating car number 0. From Adel, Iowa, the Sanitized Solutions KRM car number 1 of Kelby Watt. From Ankeny, Iowa, the Champion Race Promotions TJ Aiden Automotive car number 2. That's Matt Johnson. From Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, the Outlaw Wings 2C Racing Deuce, that's Wayne Johnson. And from Altoona, Iowa, the United Sim Sports Valvoline 2 Easy Finance West End Mazda car number 5 of Tyler Curtis. Johnny Anderson from Indianola pilots the Jack L. Anderson Auto Body car number 7. And from Minnesota in the Corleano's Pizza car number 9, Ryan York. Last week's winner from Waco, Texas, the EMI Bush's Chicken Kaiser Wheels entry of Chase Randall. And from Messina, Iowa, the CNS Enterprises Iowa Fasteners car number 10 of Jeff Tuttle. From Genesee, Wisconsin, the Wilkie Auto Service car number 13 is Eric Wilkie. And from Altoona, Iowa, the Koltoff Electric Knoxville Hospital and Clinics car number 17 of Austin McCarl. Seth Bergman will be piloting the Fisher Body Shop Hollywood Powder Coatings entry. And from Lighton, Iowa, the Rosa family car number 17 of Tyler Grunendijk. Ryan Curtis, brother to Tyler, also from Altoona, piloted in the United Sim Sports Valvoline 2 Easy Finance West End Mazda car number 18. And from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, the Kennedy Flooring B-Dubs, Buffalo Wild Wings car number 21. That's Thomas Kennedy. From Muscatine, Iowa, Evan Epperson, he pilots the Pace Performance car number 21. And from Green Valley, Missouri, the Casey's FVP Impact Science Housby car number 21 of Blackjack, Brian Brown. Of course, Brian was your second place finisher last week, just ahead of Seth Bergman. Those 3 drivers finished in the top 3 on night number 1. From Ankeny, Iowa, the Tesdell Electric Steve Wars Motorsports car number 22, that's Ryan Levitt. And from East Des Moines, one of our sponsors tonight, the Cade Higday Lawn Care car number 24, that's Cade Higday. From Knoxville in the car number 25, you'll see TJ Masick. And from Des Moines in the 26, the Pinnacle Powder Coating sponsored car, that's Chase Young. Carson McCarl from Altoona drives the Jetco Deanfield Farms Burnett Rockin' Landscape car number 27. And in the Wilkie's Auto Service 41, you'll find Eric Wilkie. The man you normally see turning the wrenches at the Knoxville Raceway drives the Golf Cart Services car number 44. That's Jeff Woodruff. And from Ankeny, Iowa, the C&D Elevator, CMR Chick Magnet Motorsports car number 44 of Chris Martin. Tony Schilling back in the Schilling Excavating Marion County Auto Body car number 47. And from Avon, Indiana, welcome him here tonight in the 55. That's Peyton Grease. From Indianola, the Truck Equipment Sign Creation 71 of Brandon Worthington. And from Grinnell, the rookie in the Poly Eyes Pizza car number 71. That's Caden Moore. Justin Henderson from T South Dakota drives the Seal Pros Paving and Sealing GRP Motorsports car number 83. And Carter Chevalier from Andover, Minnesota, the Aggressive Hydraulics 15C. Caleb Johnson in the Merle Johnson Farm Toys car number 22K from Sioux Falls. And Stuart Snyder from Omaha in the S1S Motorsports 23S. From Clarksburg, California, the Burco Redwood, cut over 31C of Justin Coxon. From Knoxville, Iowa, in the LNG Automotive, JJ Kane Auctioneer, 5J of Jamie Ball. Oskaloosa, Iowa's AJ Johnson drives the Dutch Mill Supply Pillow Building System. Schroeder Graphics, cut over 8J. And from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, the Dago Motorsports, cut over D1. That's the Bulldog, Jesse Gianetto. And from Sans Souci, New South Wales, Australia, tonight you'll also see Brooke Tatnall back on the racetrack here. His first week of sim racing with us in the Knoxville Virtual Racing Series. Night number 2, of course, brought to you by Champion Race Promotions. Yeah, my name's Tony Bachhoven. Glad to have you with us. And if you're like me, race fans, you are so anxious to go racing, you about can't stand it. And that's kind of where I find myself most days when I'm sitting at work trying to think about work. I'm sitting there also thinking about how many more days will it be till we go racing. But again, you know, we understand the situation, and we want to wish our well wishes to those folks around the country that are impacted by the COVID-19 virus. And we wish you well, and hope that we can all get back to some form of normalcy and get back to the racetrack very soon. But bring your hand sanitizer and your mask when you do come. So the car is continuing to do a little hot lap action. Tonight's format will be time trials coming up here in just a little bit. The drivers will get 5 minutes to accomplish their 2 best laps of the evening, which will then lead us into our national anthem at the same time. We'll have 4 heat races tonight, 8 laps in distance. Top 4 cars will transfer on into our 24-car B main event, which will have 8 transfer cars moving on into tonight's 24-car, 40-lap A main event, brought to you by Champion Race Promotions. Don't forget to spend a little time on the YouTube channel, checking out the Pushin' the Cushion YouTube channel. Sorry, my tongue got a little tied up there. The YouTube channel to check out all the other races that they do put on. There's lots of content out there for you to watch. Make sure you go to KnoxvilleRaceway.com, sign up for the Dirt, the newsletter, so you can keep up with all the action and the latest information from the sprint car capital of the world. Of course, you can like them on Facebook and Twitter as well to follow along. If you are on social media tonight, you can certainly tweet to me at Tony Bachhoven. I know last week several of you did, and I apologize for not getting to all of them throughout the night, but about 300 tweets I had looking at me after the races last week. So between those of you tweeting your seat and those folks that were tweeting to me, you know, it's always funny. People will be tweeting to me when I'm announcing, and they'll expect that I'm going to be able to talk to them at that same time. So anyway, thanks for doing that last week. But again, not able to get to everybody, but we'll try to tonight again and see what we can get done. Just about 22 minutes after the hour here in central Iowa. So for those of you around the country tuning in here tonight, we hope you had a good supper, get set up into the Burka Lounger, get your NOS energy drink cracked open right alongside. For those of you having a Busch Light, and get set for some great racing action. Actually snowing here in where I'm located in Pella, Iowa, which is just a short 12 miles from the Knoxville Raceway. Woke up this morning, yesterday morning, to a little snow on the ground, and then this afternoon a little snow as we made our way into the announcer's booth here at the house. Looking out the window, just a bit of snow still falling on the ground. So certainly doesn't look like race season out there, but we know it is high time to go racing for sure here in central Iowa. I want to thank everybody, Alex Hanna and Darren Detweiler, Billy Brickley, for helping get me all dialed in here tonight to announce tonight's stream on iRacing. We were joking just before we went live that without those 3 guys, I'd never be able to get on here. I'm good at using a computer, but not navigating a computer. So they've been lifesavers for me here tonight, getting dialed in. Track looking good. It's starting to come in, cushion about half a car width off the fence. As we look down the back straightaway, you see that arc getting way up on the outside of the racetrack. The moisture down there on the bottom. So it should be an exciting night of racing here at the Knoxville Raceway. As I mentioned, go to KnoxvilleRaceway.com to find out all the happenings at the sprint car capital of the world, and you can find out how you can get your tickets for a lot of the big races that we have coming up this season. Of course, when the NOS Energy Drink World of Outlaw Sprint Car Series comes to town, of course, the NOS Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals, the My Place Hotel Late Model Knoxville Nationals, and the 360 Knoxville Nationals, all those great events coming up this year where you can get those tickets online at KnoxvilleRaceway.com. So the drivers are looking at about 6 more minutes of practice. They get 30 minutes to practice here tonight, so about 6 minutes remaining, a little less, which will then take us into that 5-minute qualifying session where we'll have 2 laps to get their best time. And I'm going to make my way over to Twitter right now to see what's happening there. Tyler Perry dialed in tonight from Nebraska, from the ever snowy state of Nebraska, he says. Glad to have you dialed in tonight, Tyler. H2O Lincoln tweeting his scene. He's got iRacing up on the monitor. Glad to have you with us. So watching on the Xbox, in fact. Sarah Robinson watching on as well. Brad Parker are watching from Lake of the Ozarks. Glad to have you guys dialed in. So it's nice to have some folks tuning in. Our friends in Australia are wiping the sleepies out of their eyes, getting ready to dial us up tonight. Got a lot of feedback from them last week. A lot of our diehard race fans from Australia enjoyed watching the drivers get after it here on virtual Knoxville Raceway. Greg Olson dialed in as well. And of course, I want to say again, thanks to Eric Arnold for the help he's put together, getting a lot of this pulled in and getting the Katie Spriggs National Anthem lined up for us. Again, I know everybody enjoys that. So go ahead and tweet to me at Tony Bachhoven. We'll look forward to seeing you guys on here. Kara Gronenbohm sending me a picture of them all, Randy and everybody dialed in on the north side of town for me. So just a stone's throw away, or as the crow flies, about 30 seconds in our wonderful little town of 10,000. My longtime friend, probably the guy that's been my friend the longest in my life, Ryan Voss, watching from South Dakota. I've been trying to get him dialed in on a go-kart. So Ryan and I, old racing buddies. Ryan spent a little time in the ARCA series doing some pavement pounding, and we race go-karts together as younger folks. And it's time he get back into the Ignite series. If you're a go-kart fan and want to do a little wheeling of yourself, our friends at Margay Racing have a great deal going on right now. Their website, Margay Racing, and learn about getting your Ignite Kart Series kart, where you can do some racing with folks like Josh Holt and Mike Long and Ross Vanek. We have a great time racing all over the country. Of course, the USAC folks putting on the Battle at the Brickyard. They bring about 600 of us there to race on the road course on the infield of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway later this summer. So we're looking forward to that as well. So if you'd like to do a little racing, go on the line to Margay's website, and you can find out how you too can suit up and go racing with us. A lot of folks tweeting and Facebook direct messaging me that they're all dialing into the YouTube page. So glad to have you folks along. Chris Wright dialing in. Rob Kubley sitting at home in Milo watching. Earl Harvey watching in Des Moines. Caleb Morgan dialed in. Ryan Peterson. DJ Verplug dialed in from Oskaloosa. Jared Bailey tweeting in. Dave Sharpley Jr. all the way from Pittsboro, Indiana, home of Darren Pittman. His current home. Caleb Morgan watching from Linville, Iowa. So again, glad to have you all dialed in here tonight. Drivers are now getting ready to go into their qualifying session. About a minute remaining here in practice, and then they'll be headed straight into qualifying, which will lead us into the national anthem. Again, tonight is night number 2, brought to you by Champion Race Promotions here at the virtual Knoxville Raceway. I believe next week we'll have our buddy Chris Krug dialed in with us. He'll be calling the action, I believe, with me next week. Wasn't able to join us here tonight. Trent Breisel dialed in from Newton, Iowa. Glad to have you along. Haas App, my old buddy, piloting in here tonight, getting ready to go. Niels Shielhaus dialed in. Our buddy Greg Detweiler. Now, Greg, if you are looking at the screen right now, if you see the gap between the Hall of Fame and the back grandstands, if you were to drive straight out and come to that intersection by the street and look straight across there, on a Saturday, you'll see the smoker going over there. You'll smell it before you ever get there because it smells amazing. But our buddy Greg Detweiler dialed in. He and Chris watching on the backstretch at the Knoxville Raceway. In fact, it would take him a quick 30 seconds to be at the pit gate. In fact, he's so close. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'd ask that you all please rise in your living rooms. Gentlemen, removing your hats as we get ready to kick off night number 2 at virtual Knoxville Raceway presented by Champion Racing Promotions with tonight's national anthem sung by Katie Spriggs.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, 80 Spriggs, ladies and gentlemen. Forward, march.
All right, anthem complete. I'll tell you, every time you hear Katie sing, it's just another great experience. She's just wonderful, and we're really thankful to have her singing for us here again tonight. Again, glad to have you with us here, night number 2, the Champion Race Promotions Virtual Knoxville, brought to you by Champion Race Promotions. As we get ready to go, drivers making their final adjustments. Our friend Chris Arkema dialed in from New Sharon. Glad to have him with us. He was with us last week as well. In fact, I think he said he had dollar bush lights at his house last week, though he didn't tell anybody. So I don't know if he probably had them all to himself. But again, glad to have you with us here. 39 Knoxville Raceway drivers signed in for competition here tonight. Amy and Charlie Levitt dialed in. So Amy is the mother of Ryan. Charlie is his brother. They're watching. Kurt Cypersma dialed in from Sioux City, Iowa, cheering for Brooke Tatnall. Caleb Morgan cheering on the rookie Caden Moore, driving the Poly Ice Pizza, car number 71. Jared Bushmeyer dialed in as well. Brandon Cook watching from Nashville, Tennessee. Ryan Peterson on the line. He's got the big screen up on the wall with the race streaming live. Our buddy Keith O'Phil from California, the Country Builders, the man of Country Builders, and his beautiful wife dialed in tonight. Glad to have them with us. Look forward to seeing them when they make their trek to Knoxville. Scott Parker, our man at Scott Parker from Lake of the Ozarks, formerly of Des Moines. Scott is one of the crucial kingpins that helped put up that beautiful Brian Clausen Sweet Tower that stands outside of turn number 2 there. As you look on your screen, you can see it right now. Christy Woodruff dialing in. She's home cheering on her husband, Jeff, who will be piloting the Golf Cart Services car number 44 tonight. Christy is also the lady behind the Knoxville Nationals Queen Contest. So you've probably seen her working around the racetrack during the Nationals. Robert Colbert from Somerville, South Carolina. Boy, we love it that our friends from around the world are tuning in. Jeff Vandermolen cheering on Tyler Grunendijk. Helen and Steve Wares watching from the comforts of their palatial estates on the north side of Knoxville. They're the place up on the hill with the big brick gate and lots of lights and fancy trees lining the driveway all the way up to their palatial castle. Jeff Oscom tuning in from Newton, cheering on Justin. Glad to have him dialed in. Heather Fitzpatrick watching as well. Boy, they're just piling in here. Love it. Blake Worley dialing in. Jason Price. He and Noah and Jameson are cheering on Austin McCarl. Of course, Jason Price, the son of our pace truck driver tonight, Wally Price. Jason will be working in turn 1 this season at the Knoxville Raceway. You formerly saw him working down in the staging lanes. Our good friends Mark and Rhonda Knopf watching online. So the cars for heat race number 1 makes their way down into the staging lanes. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go virtually racing here at Knoxville. Heat race number 1 just about set to pull to the grid. The first of 4 heat races tonight, 8 laps in distance. Top 4 cars will be moving on into tonight's 40 lap A main event, 24 cars. If you finish outside of the top 4 in your heat race tonight, you will be starting in tonight's B main event, where we'll take 8 cars from that race as well. So just about set to roll the cars as they make their way down to the staging lanes. Don't forget, we have lots of prizes tonight. $25 goes to the quick qualifier. Tonight was the invert of 6, so we'll see who that was here in just a second. So hopefully we'll be seeing the lineup here in just a moment, and I'll be able to give that to you. Drivers are getting their final instructions over the one-way radio communications right now. And here in just a moment, Darren will be popping up our lineup for tonight's starting lineup. Of course, our buddy Chris Nichols, the king of the Bismarcks, and the large Diet Cokes watching from just outside of turn number 3. On his black and white 13-inch TV from his mobile home in Knoxville, Iowa. If you've seen his palatial house, you'd know that wasn't the case either. So again, here in just a moment, we hope to have your starting lineup as Wally Price has the iRacing pace truck out on the speedway now. Well, the pace cars pulling in. We'll see the cars as they come around. We weren't able to get the starting lineup here for the first of 4 heat races. As the field rolls down into turns 1 and 2, they'll race down the back straightaway. So having a little trouble here with the camera, not able to make the camera turn. So we'll wait for the cars to come around here for the first of 8 laps. There you see the cars heading down the front straightaway. Again, I apologize, not able to see the cars as they are going around here. The camera's not streaming around, so we'll see what we can come up with here in just a moment. So again, still working on trying to get our camera things straightened out here. Not quite sure who we've got out front. Jamie Ball is currently your race leader now as they work down the back straightaway. Caden Moore in that 4th and final transfer spot. We'll see if after we get through heat race number 1, if we can change the way I see the show here tonight. And as we get 2 cars upside down, of course, Matthew Johnson spinning wildly and Thomas Kennedy getting upside down in the Buffalo Wild Wings car. As I was saying, we'll wait and see after this heat race if we can change the way I see the stream and then hopefully be able to see the running order and, of course, the field as Jamie Ball continues to lead off of turn number 2. So again, if you'll bear with us, race fans, we'll be getting with you here in just a second so that you can see if we can change up the way I see the show here. All right, getting real close to having. Okay, here we go. Heat race number 2. Carson McCarl starts on the pole outside of the front row. Tyler Gronendijk from Oskaloosa in the 17 car. Row number 2 on the inside from Omaha, Nebraska. The 23 is Stuart Snyder, and outside of Stuart from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. That's Wayne Johnson. He pilots car 2, says 30 on the screen. Your 3rd row on the inside tonight, Tyler Curtis in the Valvoline. Car number 5 and 2 is outside from Minnesota. Driving the car number 9, that's Ryan York. Ryan York in the Corleano's Pizza entry. AJ Johnson from Oskaloosa in the Dutch Mill Lumber. Car number 8 and 2 is outside. In the D1 car from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, that's Jesse Giannetto. Jesse Giannetto. Your final starter, Brooke Tatnall, piloting the car number 25 from Sans Souci, New South Wales. I'm sure he and the kids, GT's probably watching alongside of him, pacing around the floor there. There you see the iRacing pace truck leading around as Wally Price brings the field around. So, of course, again, Alex Hanna giving the drivers their final instructions over the one-way radio communications here prior to the drop of the green. Heat race number 2 getting ready to go. All right, as we go inside, there's a live look from Brooke Tatnall as they roll through turn number 2, getting ready to go here on the start. What a cool look. If you ever wondered what it looked like inside of a sprint car, this is as good as it gets for you right here. You can see a very narrow tunneled focus as they race down the back straightaway at the Knoxville Raceway. Got the nose wing there. You can't see the front tires. You'll hear drivers talk about that. When you see a car go down into the turn, you see them hop over the inside berm. That's why they can't see those tires. Oh, Tatnall getting a little anxious, getting upside down, a car on its lid as we take the green flag. Down into turn number 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, McCarl leading the way. That's Carson McCarl in the Burnett Rockin' Landscape entry. As they roll through turns 3 and 4, now Tyler Gronendijk running in that second spot. Battle for third, a 3-car battle as they race into turn number 1. Good battle. The top 4 cars will move on. Stuart Snyder in that 3rd spot. Ryan York in the 4th and final transfer spot. Now here comes Wayne Johnson. Johnson knocking on the door as we go inside of Wayne Johnson's car as they race down the back straightaway. Johnson down to the inside. Slide job coming up. Tries to get around for the 4th and final transfer spot. Boy, what a battle for position as Carson McCarl leads. Oh, cars getting upside down, one up on the wall. We stay green. Looks like Wayne Johnson out of contention. Tough break for him now. Ryan York in that transfer spot, but here comes Tyler Gronendijk. The Rosa family got her whistling up on the high side of the racetrack now. 3 cars back from the lead. Carson McCarl still leading down the front straightaway. Now here comes Tyler. 2 cars back, knocking on the door. Your race is for the lead. Here as they work down the back straightaway. How about the racing up front? AJ Johnson now 1 spot out of a transfer as they work down the back straightaway. Stuart Snyder still in that 3rd spot, looking on as the top 2 cars continue to battle. Champion Race Promotions heat race number 2 is a good one. Carson McCarl showing the way. Tyler Gronendijk looking high as they work down the front straightaway, follows Carson. 2 car widths up off the cushion. Steiner now looking low. Here comes Ryan York to the outside. Side by side for the 3rd spot. York looking for a little insurance here in heat race number 2. Top 4 cars will move on with just a couple laps to go here in heat race number 2. Ryan York now through the middle of turn number 2 to take that 3rd spot as they work off of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway. Again, Tyler Gronendijk in that number 2 position, trying to make something happen here in the closing laps. Checkered flag waves. Carson McCarl gets the win. Tyler Gronendijk 2nd, Ryan York 3rd, and Stu Snyder finishing in the 4th and final transfer spot as your results come up here momentarily. How about that? Carson McCarl, Gronendijk, York, and Snyder will transfer. AJ Johnson, Tyler Curtis, Brooke Tatnall, Wayne Johnson getting upside down there right off the drop of the green flag. Tough break for him. How about that for heat race number 2? Champion Race Promotions heat race number 3 going to the grid now, just about ready to go. On the inside of the front row, Woody. Jeff Woodruff piloting the car number 44. That's the Golf Cart Services entry. And to his outside, Carter Chevalier in the car number 15. Row 2 on the inside, 3rd starting spot. In the Steve Wares Motorsports Double Deuce, that's Ryan Levitt. And to his outside, in the Burco Redwoods, car number 31. From the state of California, that's Justin Cox. Your 3rd row on the inside, Cade Higday in the Higday Lawn Care, car number 24, starting in that 5th spot. And from Knoxville, Iowa, the car number 29, that's TJ Masick. TJ Masick will start alongside of him. And row number 4, Brandon Worthington in the car number 20, and to his outside, Caleb Johnson in the 26 car. Mike Mayberry in the 0 will start in the final spot here in heat race number 3. Boy, heat race number 2 was a good one as we work our way through the Champion Racing Products heat race events. Champion Race Promotions heat race events. And go to championracepromotions.com to learn more. Here's a look back off of the back of one of the starters here tonight as the car is getting ready to line up there. As Wally brings the iRacing pace truck down the back straightaway. Getting just about set to go. The pace truck will be popping in here in just a moment. As we get ready to go, Wally takes the pace truck to the infield. Just about set to go to the green flag as they work off of turn 4. Green flag waves. Here we go. Champion Race Promotions heat race number 3 going to the green flag. Jeff Woodruff jumps out to the early lead down the back straightaway. Woodruff in the car number 44 now being challenged as they race into turn number 4. Side by side for the lead as they work down the front straightaway. Good battle up front. Top 4 cars moving on side by side for the top 4 spots. Carter Chevalier in that 3rd spot now as Justin Cox gets by for 2nd. Justin Cox in the number 2 position. Chevalier running in that 3rd spot. Battle in that 4th position about to happen as they race down into turn number 1. Single file for the top 4 spots as they begin to pull away. Ryan Levitt in that 4th and final transfer spot now. Cade Higday in the 5th spot on the outside looking in. He took a fan vote today looking for which paint scheme he should run. He had 3 of them up there. They chose the blue one as he rides in that 5th spot, 1 out of a transfer. Ryan Levitt still in that 4th spot. Charlie cheering him on as they race into turn number 3, side by side for 2nd now. Good battle up front. The top 2 cars, or 3 cars, nose to tail. Woodruff, Cox, and Chevalier battling there for the top 3 spots. Chevalier down to the inside. Justin Cox in the Burco Redwoods entry on the high side. They're side by side in turn number 4. All the while, Jeff Woodruff still showing the way. Jeff Woodruff, the crew chief for Trey Starks in weekly competition at the Knoxville Raceway. He's got company down the back straightaway. Your race for the lead. Here comes Justin Cox. He's got it. You've got a new leader in turn 4. Jeff Woodruff back to the inside, taking a look as they race side by side. They nearly touch. Chevalier over the cushion. Cox there gets up over the high side of the racetrack in 1 and 2. They nearly get together again down the back straightaway. A dogfight in 3 and 4. How about the battle for the top 2 spots now? Oh, trouble! Car upside down, spinning, Higday, Hellboy. We got 2 cars out of contention now as the top 3 pulling away down the back chute. What a battle for the top 4 spots now. Kate Higday in that 3rd position. Ryan Levitt running in the runner-up spot. Justin Cox now your leader. Levitt, Higday, and Caleb Johnson the top 4. Brandon Worthington running 5th. Woodruff falls back to 6th after the incident. Mayberry, Chevalier, and TJ Masick. Woo, how about that one? They came to the checkers, and Justin Cox gets the win. Ryan Levitt comes home in the 2nd spot in heat race number 3. That was a good one. Your 4th and final Champion Race Promotions heat race will line up like this. Eric Wilkie on the front row in the car number 13, and to his outside, Tony Schilling in the 22 car. Row 2 on the inside, your 3rd starter, Peyton Grease from Indiana in the 55 car, and to his outside, the 49-time winner at the Knoxville Raceway in the Casey's FVP, Impact Signs, car number 21, Blackjack, Brian Brown. Row 3 on the inside, 5th starting spot. In the Hollywood Blasting and Coatings entry, that's Seth Bergman in the 37, and to his outside, in the Jack L. Anderson Auto Body, car number 7, Johnny Lightning Anderson. Row number 4, 7 starter Chase Randall, last week's winner. He'll line up in the 7th spot, and to his outside, Chase Young in the 36 car will start 8th. And Chris Martin in the Chick Magnet Motorsports entry, he'll line up in the final spot here in the 4th and final heat race event. 8 laps the distance, top 4 cars. Again, moving on. Again, Top Shelf Racing Podcast put up $25 off a year subscription of the My Race Pass Insider to the highest finishing Pro Series driver tonight. Of course, if you haven't been to My Race Pass, make sure you do that. Download it to your smartphone. What a valuable app for the race fan and announcers alike. There's lots of information there, lots of stats on your favorite drivers, lots of news and stories, and most importantly, if you can't be at the racetrack, you can watch on My Race Pass app on your smartphone. Get the app, hashtag get the app, and you can follow along at your racetrack all summer long to see who's doing what, who finishes where. All right, your 4th and final Champion Race Promotions heat race getting ready to go as they line up side by side behind the iRacing pace truck. Eric Wilkie sitting on the point. Tony Schilling to his outside in the Schilling Excavating 22. Brian Brown starting in that 4th and final transfer spot. We'll see where he ends up in this one. Here we go. Wally brings the pace truck to the infield this time around. We come for the green off of turn number 4. Oh boy, a slow start there down the front straightaway. Everybody stays clean as they work into turns 1 and 2. Wilkie leading down the back straightaway. Here comes Schilling. Now Brown to the inside of the... You've got 5 cars, almost 6 of them battling down the back front straightaway. What a battle for the top 4 transfer spots. Wilkie continuing to lead. Schilling there, that 2nd spot as they work off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Battle for 2nd as they work into 3 and 4. Schilling sliding up to block as they work off of turn number 4. He's trying to fend back Grease. And Anderson in that final transfer spot. Brian Brown now in a transfer position. Brownie tries the high side. Johnny, oh, your leader up into the wall. Trouble. Brian Brown upside down the back straightaway. Tony Schilling holding on to the lead. And Johnny Anderson running 2nd now as they work into 1 and 2. The top 4 shuffling the deck as your top contenders flipping down the back straightaway on the last lap. Tough break for them as we continue to stay green. Anderson, Schilling, Bergman down to the 3rd spot. Randall up into the transfer position. Grease 1 spot out of a transfer spot. Young, Martin, Brown in the 8th position. Back up front, Seth Bergman, who was your third place finisher 1 week ago, finds himself third right now. Chase Randall, last Thursday's winner, in that fourth and final transfer spot. Johnny Lightning Anderson racing down the back straightaway. Young son, Jack, probably standing alongside there, cheering him on, telling him what to do as they race down the front chute now. He leads with 3 to go here in virtual heat race number 4. Your pole setter, Wilkie, in the final position. Tough break for him after getting in. Oh, battle in second. 2 cars upside down. Oh, boy, this one is interesting here in the closing laps as they're on the final lap. The top 2 cars falling out. Down the back chute, Johnny Anderson leading. Who will be the transfer cars? Johnny Anderson, Bergman, Randall, and Grease. Your top 4 off of turn 4. Johnny Lightning Anderson gets the win. Seth Bergman comes home second. Chase Randall finishing third. Peyton Grease in the fourth and final transfer spot. Young, Martin Schilling, Brown, and Wilkie will finish in the 9th spot. But Grease in that fourth and final transfer position. Chase Randall finishing in the 3rd spot. He was last Thursday's A-Main feature winner. Boy, oh boy. The 3rd and 4th heat races, very exciting here tonight. Lots of drama in the closing laps of each of those races. And only 10 cars, only 4 cars moving on out of each of those races. It makes it really challenging for those guys to make it up into a transfer position. So the cars are gridding for your B main here, getting set to go. My boss at my real job, Mr. Metcalf, watching online from Ring-O-Matic. If you're in the construction industry looking for a vacuum excavation system, go to ringomatic.com to learn more. All right, here's your B main lineup like this. On the pole, Jeff Tuttle, the Knoxville Hall of Famer, lines up on the point in the car number 10, and to his outside, A.J. Johnson in the 8J from Oskaloosa. Brandon Worthington starts in the 3rd spot inside of row number 2, and to his outside, Chase Young in the 36. Row 3 on the inside, Kelby Watt, and he'll be lining up alongside our buddy in the Valvoline, car number 5, that's Tyler Curtis. Row number 4 in your 7th starting spot, that's Mike Mayberry in the 0 car, and to his outside in the C&D Elevator Construction, number 35 or 44 on race nights, that's Chris Martin. Row 5, your 9th starter from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, the Buffalo Wild Wings, car number 16, that's Thomas Kennedy, and to his outside, Brooke Tatnell in the car number 25. He'll start in the 10th spot. Woody will line up in the 11th position. Jeff Woodruff, he was leading in the heat race, getting upside down. And starting in the 12th spot, Tony Schilling in the Schilling Excavating car number 22. Your 13th starter is one of your co-promoters. That's Matthew Johnson in the 34. That's the Champion Race Promotions entry. And to his outside, Wayne Johnson in the car number 2 from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Carter Chevalier lining up in the 15th spot, and to his outside, the FVP, car number 21 of Brian Brown, in a transfer spot in his heat race, getting upside down. He'll be in tonight's B main event. Evan Epperson and Jesse Gianetto lining up in the 9th row, side by side, and TJ Masick and Eric Wilkie will be your 20th starter here in tonight's B main event. So the starts will be on the leader as they are lined up. Pace truck. Pace truck pulls to the infield. Here we go. Jeff Tuttle, the Knoxville Hall of Famer, brings him off turn 4 to the green flag. Cars mid-pack spinning around, getting upside down as they work down the front straightaway. Tuttle slips back to second as they work off at turn number 2. Your top cars starting to shake him out. We'll take 8. Oh, Tuttle end over end as he goes into turn number 3. This is a long race where we'll take 8 cars. There are 17 to go in this one, as they continue to sort out your field down the back straightaway. Right now, Evan Epperson in that 9th spot. There's a 3-car battle for position. Off of turn number 4, cars still mixing it up here as they try to get settled down, get a rhythm figured out here in tonight's B main event. Worthington, Watt, Schilling, and Young, your top 4. Brandon Worthington, the race leader in that car number 20. Then Curtis in car number 5. Brian Brown already up into the 6th spot. So Brian Brown in the car number 21. We'll take a look at him down the back straightaway. He's in a 3-car battle as they race into turns 3 and 4. That's 4 position. 3 wide as they race off the turn. These cars in transfer contention. Brian Brown goes to the high side. We'll see if we can go inside the in-car camera of Brian Brown as a car flipping off of turn number 2. There's a look inside of the FVP car number 21. Brownie puts it up on the high side of the racetrack. Looks to the inside of the car number 26 as they race into turn 1. Back on the high side, you see nice and smooth. Now dives to the bottom. What is typically the fastest part of the Knoxville Raceway is the exit of turn number 2, and Brownie uses that to his advantage. We'll go back up front. Your leaders work off of the turn down the front straightaway. Schilling has slipped back into that number 2 position. Cars slowing as they work down the back straightaway. Leaders getting by on the high side. Jesse Gianetto finds himself in the 13th spot. Kelby Watt has fallen out. First car out of contention in tonight's B main event. 12 laps remain. Tony Schilling, Brian Brown now second. Brandon Worthington, Tyler Curtis in that 4th spot. Young in the 5th position. Then Wilkie in 6th. Good battle as the top cars are moving away from the rest of the field. Schilling continuing to lead. Puts some 10 car lengths on Brian Brown. Brian Brown started deep in the field, worked his way up now to the 2nd spot. Here comes Tyler Curtis trying to reel in Brian Brown. Tyler Curtis in the car number 5, the Valvoline entry, goes to the high side of the racetrack now as they put on a 3-car battle behind him for 4th, 5th, and 6th, but Tyler Curtis closing in on Brian Brown. The top 3 cars evenly spaced off at turn number 4, led by Schilling as they work down the back straightaway, then side by side for the 4th spot. That's the first battle on the racetrack. We'll take a look at the battle there in the 4th position. Side by side, they race off the turn right now. That's Brandon Worthington and Young in that position there. That's Chase Young in car number 26 on the high side of the racetrack. Side by side again for the 4th spot as they go into turn number 1. Good battle through the turn. A 3-car battle for position as they race off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Chase Young still up on the high side of the racetrack as they work on the high side of turn 4. Schilling, Brown, Curtis, Young in the 4th spot. Evan Epperson in that 6th position. Good racing around the field. Again, the top 8 cars moving on. Just about inside of 5 to go. 6 right now, looking for 5 as they work by the flag stand. Tony Schilling continuing to lead from early on in this one. Brian Brown, Tyler Curtis, Young in the 4th spot. Worthington running 6th. Jeff Woodruff, 1 spot out of a transfer now, finds himself in the 9th spot as we've got a 7-car battle for position up front. Here comes Brownie taking a look at the lead with lap traffic just ahead off of turn 4. Brian Brown takes the lead now. Tyler Curtis in 2nd. Schilling shuffled back to the 3rd spot. How about that? Back up to the front. Your leader continuing to be challenged now. Tyler Curtis taking the lead. Oh, he gets into a lap car. Tough break for Curtis now. Here comes Schilling back to the inside. Tyler Curtis with 3 laps to go, but the caution waving yellow. Oh boy. Wally Price brings the iRacing pace truck back onto the racetrack. Tyler Curtis in the Valvoline car number 5 was in a vicious battle with Brian Brown in that 2nd spot. Tony Schilling will line up 3rd. Chase Young 4th and Evan Epperson 5th. Those are the top 5 cars right now. 6th is Brandon Worthington, Matthew Johnson in transfer position, and Carter Chevalier in that 8th and final transfer spot here in tonight's B main event. Drivers getting ready to go. My buddy Jared Van Wyk watching online. Steve Fitzpatrick dialed in. Jeff Oscom, Nikki DeLong, lots of folks watching online. Glad to have you all with us here tonight. Night number 2 of the Knoxville Virtual Series, race number 2 presented by Champion Race Promotions. Again, follow us along. Many of you tweeting in here. We'll take a look online here. Of course, Jeff Oscom tweeting to Donnie Schatz. In fact, of course, Brian Mathis watching online and the Dingus crew. The Top Row Rowdies, our friends from the Chili Bowl watching online. Anthony Walter, good to have him here. Angie Freeman, Noah and Carson Freeman watching from Milo, Iowa, cheering on the McCarls tonight. Our buddy Steve Schaefer, longtime videographer at the Knoxville Raceway, watching online. Caden Rice, the Kid Rocket. Katie Bourne, Jason Jonesgard watching again tonight. Vermeer Motorsports, Tony Vermeer, owner of the TK Concrete 55 car, watching online.
Green's out. Green flag.
All right, green flag coming back out. Just 3 laps remaining here in tonight's B-main event. Tyler Curtis drops the hammer on him. Brian Brown running in that second spot. Will he have enough time? Down the back chute now, Brown closing in on Curtis in the Valvoline 5 up on the high side of the racetrack. Tyler Curtis takes the Too Easy Finance entry down the front straightaway. Will he be able to hang on? Tip of the green, 2 to go. Here comes Brownie mounting a charge down the back straightaway. White flag will fly this time. Who's it going to be? Brown to the high side. Curtis slides up to block. Brown turns the car to the inside. They'll drag race down the front straightaway. Checkers out. Your winner is going to be very close. Brian Brown getting the win by 0.05 seconds of margin over Tyler Curtis, Chase Young, Evan Epperson, Matthew Johnson finishing in that 5th spot. Brandon Worthington, Carter Chevalier, and Tony Schilling in that 8th and final transfer spot. How about a hand for your winner, Brian Brown, picking up the win? Let's get a word with tonight's B-main winner here in just a moment, Brian Brown, who, of course, finished 2nd 1 week ago on Thursday night. Tonight finds himself buried in the B-main coming into this race. Was a long ways to go. And we'll go inside the car with Brian Brown. Brownie, you had a long ways to go after getting upside down in that heat race, but the FVP 21 was whistling Dixie here tonight.
Yeah, you guys got me?
You betcha. We got you.
Yeah, I was a little bit of carnage there in the beginning on that start, but we were able to get through it and live to fight another day.
You know, a week ago, you ran 2nd to the young Chase Randall, and tonight, car looks very fast. Starting to get that figured out. You got that WR1 sim dialed in pretty good to get you through the traffic.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of that's just actually my crew chief, Chad, sent me a message before the race there to be. It's just funny how he helps me in this, too. Just sent me a message and said, hey, just be smart here and just don't get caught up in somebody's mess. And we were able to sneak through there. And yeah, the WR1's working good. Casey's Drindle Store, FEP, all of our great partners, Impact Signs, Huntings, and Reps. We're not on the real track, but it still matters. We're still getting the heart rate up, and anytime you can cut laps at Knoxville is good. So hopefully we can put up a show on for the fans and get this thing up front.
Good luck tonight, Brownie. Brian Brown, tonight's B-main winner, brought to you by Champion Race Promotions. As the car's doing a little hot lap session now out on the racetrack, getting ready to go. About 30 seconds remain in this warm-up. A few cars getting ready that raced early on, getting one more look at the racetrack. I want to say a special thanks to our friends at Pushing the Cushion Productions. If you're watching online, make sure you go there and give them a like and follow along. Subscribe to their feed. They have a lot of great events that you can watch throughout the week. I want to say hello to Janelle Boots, Kirsty Peterson from Checkered Flag Concessions, her and Nick watching online. Chris Wright watching, Scott Thomason. So glad to have you all. Maggie Levitt watching as well. Kurt Cypersma. We mentioned him earlier. Glad to have you guys all with us here today. All right. Even my boy Devin Rouse dialed in, watching online. Just got the final touches done to his 2020 racer. You can watch him race at the 34 Raceway in Burlington, Iowa. And if you need your truck detailed and you live in the central Iowa area, give him a call or find him on Facebook. Excuse me. And he'll get you all cleaned up, ready to go. I'm still, still waiting for him to get my Silverado all cleaned up, courtesy of Pella Motors and our friend Craig Ford. All right, race fans. Your 40-lap A-main event tonight brought to you by Champion Race Promotions. We'll line up like this. $300 goes to the winner and a host of prizes, along with one of those great Corleone's pizzas, which would be tasty right about now. Starting on the pole from Knoxville, Iowa, he's one of your co-promoters here tonight, the White Lightning Racing, JJ Kane Auctioneers, Car number 5J, that's Jamie Ball to his outside. In the car number 27, that's the Burnett Rock and Landscape Jetco Deanfield Farms entry of Carson McCarl. Row 2 on the inside, third starting spot, the Burco Redwoods 31 of Justin Cox. And to his outside, the car number 7, that's Johnny Anderson. Row number 3, Chad Morgan. You just heard Brian talk about him. That's Brian's crew chief lining up in the 50 car. Chad gets around there pretty well. The M&M Motorsports ShopRico.com entry. Tyler Gronendijk to his outside. Then we have Ryan Levitt, Seth Bergman in row number 4. Row 5 is Caden Moore and Ryan York. Row number 6 finds Cade Higday and Chase Randall. Row number 7, Ryan Curtis, Stuart Snyder. Row number 8, Caleb Johnson and Peyton Grease. Row number 9 is Brian Brown and Tyler Curtis. Row 10, Chase Young, Evan Epperson, Matthew Johnson and Brandon Worthington. And Carter Chevalier and Tony Schilling, your 24th and final starters here in tonight's Champion Race Promotions feature event. All right, here we go. Wally pulls the truck to the infield. Jamie Ball bringing him around turns 3 and 4. Looking. Green flag waves. Down the front straightaway, Jamie Ball brings him in. Carson McCarl up on the high side of the racetrack now as they work into turn number 2. Side by side from second on back. Your race is for the lead. Down into turn number 3. Good racing up front. Chad Morgan in that third spot, racing to the inside now, taking a look as well. A 3-car battle up front. Good racing for the lead as they work into turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Now Chad Morgan into the number 2 position, trying to make his way to the point to challenge for the lead. Your leader works off the bottom of turn number 4 and now slides to the middle of the racetrack. Much different line here in the feature than we saw racing in the heat race. Justin Cox shows the way. Chad Morgan, Jamie Ball, and Ryan York in the top 4. Johnny Anderson running in that 5th spot now. He's up on the high side of the speedway as well. Back up front, you're racing for the lead. Here comes Chad Morgan to the outside of Justin Cox. Battle for the lead in turn number 2. Chad Morgan takes the ShopRico.com 50 car up onto the high side of the racetrack, puts the right rear up on the cush, and brings him off at turn number 4. Will he get the lead at the flag stand? Yes, he does. Justin Cox in the Burco Redwoods 50 also, or 31 as it is, rides in that second spot, 3-car lengths back. The top 2 cars still going side by side for the lead as they pull away from the rest of the field. Battle on the back there, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Good racing for 3rd. Down the front straightaway. Car gets up on the bike, gets upside down. Johnny Anderson getting a little bit of the action there as well as the car goes. Johnny Anderson now in that 5th spot. Bergman up into the 7th spot. Brian Brown right behind Johnny Anderson now. He started deep in the pack. Taking a look to the high side of Johnny Anderson. Jamie Ball still right there as well in contention. Jamie Ball started from the point, and that 5J car slipped back. Now here comes Brown to the inside, gets right up on the bumper, slides up across to the nose of Johnny Anderson. He'll take the spot away.
Yellow.
Chad Morgan continuing to lead. Oh, yellow comes out. Yellow coming out onto the racetrack. Your leader is Chad Morgan. Chad Morgan in that 50 car. Justin Cox, Chase Randall running in the 3rd spot. Seth Bergman, Jamie Ball, and Brian Brown in the 6th position there. Let's go to the in-car camera, or let's go to the in-car with our leader, Chad Morgan, who shows the way right now in that 50 car. There's Chad Morgan's car. We'll see if we can get a word with him here as he drives that Shop Rico 50 car down into turn number 1 there. Chad, you got the 50 car running pretty good for ShopRico.com here tonight. Your boy Brian Brown, field, but all along now you're out front.
Yeah, the view's pretty good right now. We got a long ways to go, and we'll see how things play out. It's pretty good so far, but we'll see what happens. When we venture back out in the public, we're all probably going to have masks on, so get up to ShopRico.com and get yourself a mullet hat to go with it.
Good luck here tonight as we get ready to go. 10 laps in the books, 30 remain in tonight's 40-lap feature event. Justin Cox in that 2nd spot. Chase Randall running in that 3rd position. let's real quick go to Chase Randall in that third spot. He picked up the win last week, 1 week ago. Now finds himself in the third spot. Here, getting ready to go back to the green in just a moment. And not able to get with Chase right now, so we'll try him later on. You'll see that yellow laps do count here tonight, so as we pace around here behind the iRacing pace truck, laps do continue to click off. All right, pace truck's in. Chad Morgan will set the pace, bringing him off turn 4.
Green's out.
Justin Cox in that second spot. Green comes out. Here we go. Morgan back to the Cox, Chase Randall, your top 3 as they race into turn number 2. Seth Bergman, the first car up on the high side of the racetrack, down the back straightaway. Brian Brown right behind him. Here comes Jamie Ball. Seth Bergman, Brian Brown, and Jamie Ball, a 3-car battle as they work there off of turn number 4. Brownie puts it up on the high side of the racetrack. Boy, you see that cushion really going away up on the high side of the speedway. They're just nearly up on that big guardrail as they race around the top of the track. It's tougher than it looks, though, as Browning turns it off the cushion, drives back to the bottom of the racetrack, back to the inside of Seth Bergman, side by side. Oh, they go right up the racetrack in turn number 2. Nice work as they work off the turn. Bergman able to hold on to that spot. Chase Randall still running third. Justin Cox second, but your leader still Chad Morgan in the shoprico.com car number 50. If you go to shoprico.com, he's got all kinds of cool stuff, and you can follow Rico on social media. He does a lot of videos and things like that talking about the products that he and Megan have available for you. Chad Morgan, Justin Cox, Chase Randall, Seth Bergman, Brian Brown. Now Cade Higday makes his way up into the 6th position. Cade Higday, one of our sponsors here tonight in the Cade Higday Lawn and Landscape entry. There's Cade up on the top of the racetrack. As I mentioned earlier, Cade getting the fans involved in tonight's action here, picking out the paint scheme that he would run here tonight. They picked the blue car, and now he's up on the racetrack right now battling with Jamie Ball. That's the battle for the 6th spot down the back straightaway. Ball in the 7th position, now goes back to the bottom of turns 3 and 4. Cade Higday stays up on the high side, puts it right up on the wall, trying to make it work down the front straightaway. Good race there in that 7th spot as Chad Morgan continues to lead. Chad Morgan and Justin Cox running 2 now as they work through the turn. Boy, Chad Morgan has pulled away from the field here in this one. He's got a huge lead on the field, about a straightaway advantage over Justin Cox. Brian Brown in the 4th spot, Seth Bergman. Tyler Curtis is 7th, Cade Higday back to 8th now. Peyton Grease right there. He's into a top 10 position as well. As the top car is getting a little bit single file now as they work around the racetrack. A little passing on the bottom there through turn number 2. Morgan, Justin Cox, Chase Randall, Seth Bergman, Brian Brown, the top 5. 20 laps to go in tonight's Champion Race Promotions feature event. Still a lot of time in this one, 40 laps, a long time as Browning goes back to the bottom. Boy, the track really changing here. Seth Bergman up on the high side of the racetrack now as they work through lap traffic. The lap cars stay up down on the bottom of the speedway, letting the leaders work by as they work down the back straightaway. Seth Bergman will be spending the summer in the Boffman Reitzel Racing entry. Brought to you by Fisher Body Shop and Hollywood Blasting and Coatings. Of course, Josh Boffman, a big supporter of racing at the Knoxville Raceway and does some racing himself, partnering up with Aaron Reitzel, the Ollie's Bargain Outlet All-Star Circuit of Champions champion. They had great success last year and looking to do more of that again in 2020. Laps continuing to click off. Inside of 20 remain here in this one. Chad Morgan all alone out front like the chess club president on prom night. And now the caution waving. Yellow coming out. So Chad Morgan will lose that nearly 3-second advantage he had over Seth Bergman. Justin Cox, Chase Randall, Brian Brown, and Jamie Ball still hovering around in that 6th spot. So 1 week ago, Seth Bergman finished in the 3rd spot. Tonight finds himself back in contention in that second position. And we'll get a word with him in just a moment if we can get him dialed up here on our race communications. Well, Seth Bergman, 1 week ago, you finished in the third spot, but tonight you're knocking on the door for the lead here on the restart. Still 15 laps to go. Car looking pretty good here again on week number 2. Yeah, still having a little trouble with the one-way radio there. Not able to hear me on the call. But that's okay. We'll leave him alone and we'll potentially talk to him after the race here tonight. So again, on the restart with looking at about 15, 14 laps to go here in this one. Chad Morgan will be the race leader. Seth Bergman, Justin Cox, Chase Randall, and Brian Brown, your top 5. As we look at the running order, Jamie Ball, Tyler Curtis, Peyton Grease, Carson McCarl, and Ryan Curtis into the top 10. All right, getting ready to go to the green this time around as the pace truck rolls down the back straightaway. Wally Price will bring the iRacing pickup to the infield, brought to you by Pella Motors. Chad Morgan setting the pace, rolling up on the top of the racetrack. In the M&M Motorsports ShopRico.com, car number 50. Off of turn number 4.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag waves, back under action. Here we go, back to the green flag as the flash bulbs go off in the grandstands. Bergman goes to the top of the racetrack now. Here comes Justin Cox to the inside. He's in that third spot. Chase Randall in the 4th position, looking low, battle in the 3 and 4. Here comes Brian Brown as well. A 4-car battle for second off of turn number 4. Side by each, they race down into turn 1. Bergman holding on to the 2nd spot. Justin Cox, Brian Brown, Chase Randall shuffled back to 5th. Jamie Ball still running 6th. Keep your eye on the race for 3rd as they race into 3 and 4. Bergman trying to fend him off. Here comes Justin Cox up to challenge again. Brian Brown looking low as well. Single file, the top 3 up on the top. Oh, they get together. Brownie and Cox get together. Justin Cox does a nice job of keeping it on the wall. He'll open the inside for Jamie Ball. Jamie Ball gets back by him now. He'll take the 4th spot from Justin Cox. Chase Randall in that 6th position now, looking for more. Jamie Ball and Brian Brown nearly getting together. Boy, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th cars all getting rough here in this one. In the closing laps, 10 to go. They're banging wheels down the back straightaway like it's the Harris Clash. Oh, Brownie getting into a car there as they work through 3 and 4, but the track a little bit slick there, trying to nail that inside, a little bit difficult. He keeps her green. We stay forward. Looking through 3 and 4. Chad Morgan leading. Seth Bergman in that 2nd spot. Justin Cox, Jamie Ball now up into the 4th position. Tyler Curtis makes his way back up to 6th. Good racing up front. Tyler Curtis in that Valvoline car number 5 up in the top of the racetrack now, knocking on the door. Jamie Ball down the back straightaway. You start to see the dust coming up on the racetrack, and she's got the black shine on her. A hint of rubber in the air tonight as these cars are running hard on the virtual Knoxville Raceway. Chad Morgan, Seth Bergman, Justin Cox, Chase Randall, and Jamie Ball, your top 5. Tyler Curtis looking for a top 5 finish here tonight now to the outside of Jamie Ball. That'll be the battle for the 5th spot. Off of turn number 2. Curtis to the outside. He'll just get by Jamie Ball. Ball back to the inside. Still wheel to wheel in turn number 4. Racing for 5th as they work off the turn. Ball with a slight advantage now. Tyler Curtis tries to use the high side again. Takes the long way around up on the top. Ball slides up to block Curtis. Turns the car off of turn 2. Down the back straightaway. What a great race for that position now. Tyler Curtis gets the spot from Jamie Ball. Chase Randall running 4th, Justin Cox 3rd, Bergman 2nd, and Chad Morgan continuing to lead. Brian Brown running in that 7th spot. Here inside of 5 to go. The Champion Race Promotions virtual feature number 2 just coming to the close here in this final 4 laps. Chad Morgan has been the class of the field here tonight in that car number 50, untouchable from early on in this one. Puts her right back up on the top of the racetrack. You see how narrow that cushion is right around the top side of the racetrack. Bergman still running in that 2nd spot now. Your leader, Morgan, then Bergman, then Justin Cox. 2 car lengths back from him. A solid top 3 for him. This one just about ready to go to the books. Justin Cox looking to the bottom slide, slides up across the middle of the racetrack. Down the front straightaway. The white flag should be waving here on the final lap for your leader. Down the back straightaway, Chad Morgan turns the wrenches on Brian Brown's car on Saturday night, but tonight he is the class of the field and he is the Champion Race Promotions feature winner. Chad Morgan finishing the win, Justin Cox finishing second, and we'll see, looks like Chase Randall edging out, getting that 3rd spot here tonight, a top 3 finish for him. Jamie Ball and Tyler Curtis, your top 5. Good run for Tyler Curtis and Jamie Ball as well. Brian Brown finishes 6th, Tony Schilling 7th, Peyton Grease running in the 8th spot. As you can see, the feature finish rolling there. Carson McCarl 9th and Tyler Gronendijk 10th. Ryan Levitt, Stuart Snyder. As you watch on there, you can see the finish rolling around on the screen there. What a great run here tonight. Exciting racing. The heat races were spectacular. So as the drivers make their way down into virtual victory lane, we will go to our 3rd place finisher first, Chase Randall, and we'll get a word from him. So Chase, 1 week ago you picked up the win, but a good points night for you here tonight, finishing on the podium in the 3rd spot. Great job, buddy. So Chase Randall coming home in that 3rd spot tonight. Chase, good run last week, picking up the win. A good points night for you here tonight. Having a little technical difficulty. It sounds like we got the AM channels dialed in there tonight. We'll see if we can get a word with him in a second, but we'll go to our 2nd place finisher, Justin Cox. Justin Cox running a good show here tonight. Good job by him. Justin, nice run here tonight in that Burco Redwoods car. You had a tough run. It was vicious out there on the racetrack, but a good points night finishing in that 2nd spot here tonight.
Yeah, I guess I'm just a podium guy here. I can't close the deal in iRacing. I don't know. Brownie scared me there. I thought I was going to be junked for a second, but that was fun.
Good times. It was a rough night here tonight. Very challenging racetrack here, but you guys put on a great show here tonight. Thanks for participating in night number 2, and great job on finishing on the podium.
Yeah, thanks guys for having me. It's silly. We're probably all shaking, us drivers. This is I don't know why. It's almost more scary than in real life.
So Justin Cox coming home 2nd from Clarksburg, California. And tonight's winner, however, from Green Valley, Missouri, driving the car number 50 here tonight from Green Valley, the M&M Motorsports ShopRico.com entry. That's Chad Morgan. And Chad, what a run. You were a class of the field here tonight. Right before one of the cautions, you had nearly a 3-second advantage on the rest of the field. And then in the closing 15 laps there after the drop of the green, you never looked back. Great job here tonight.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. It's sure a lot of fun to have a platform like this where we can kind of have some fun with the guys that we're usually hanging out in the pits, and hopefully we're back to that sooner rather than later. I certainly miss all these guys, but at least we're able to do this and kind of stay in touch somewhat, even though we're all in our homes. We're still getting a dose of being able to compete with one another and have some fun on here. So it's certainly a good time.
So glad to have you here tonight. And, race fans, Chad and I joke around a lot during the season about if he ever runs good, that, the crew chief ought to get a little credit in an interview. Well, here you go tonight, buddy. You finally got it.
Yeah, I choose what I do because typically I like to kind of remain in the shadows. So I guess I'm getting exposed a little bit here, but it's all in good fun. Certainly having a blast with this, and glad to have you announce it. I think it's at least bringing some people a little bit of entertainment, and hopefully everybody's staying safe, and we'll get back to the pit area and get back to racing here shortly.
Great job tonight. Thank you, Chad. Chad Morgan, our big winner here tonight on night number 2 of virtual racing at the Knoxville Raceway, presented by Champion Race Promotions. So $300 went to Chad here tonight, tonight's big winner. Let's see if we can get a word with our 5th place finisher, Tyler Curtis, here tonight. Tyler, another one of the guys that you might see around the Knoxville Raceway in weekly competition. He's always hanging around the McCarl pit area and a little crew work there. And he and his brother Ryan do a lot of iRacing, and they both get on the stick here pretty well. So see if we can get him a word from him in just a moment. He may have left us already. But then, of course, don't forget Jamie Ball. Let's get Jamie Ball on the mic here. Jamie started from the pole here tonight, finishes 4th. Jamie, great run. You got her back up there, got to mix it up with some of the guys here tonight, and came home with a strong 4th place finish. And not able to get Jamie Ball here tonight, so a little trouble getting him on the mic as well. So we'll have our in-car mic figured out a little bit better for Championship Thursday, 1 week from now. Of course, we're going to do another big race next week, and we look forward to doing that. You know, Johnny Anderson still sticking around. Let's see if we can get a word from him here in just a second. Johnny Anderson, good to see you here tonight, Johnny, getting that Jack Hale Anderson Body Shop number 7 back on the Knoxville Raceway. That's a pleasant sight for some of us guys that have been around a while. Great to have you here tonight.
Oh, it's fun to be here. This is a blast to get to do, and I know it's not what everybody is really wanting right now, but this is the best we got right now, so we're trying to make the most of it.
You know, I mentioned earlier in the night, Fast Jack, I thought in my mind he's probably standing right there pounding on your shoulder telling you what to do, but you and your son, Fast Jack, will be doing a little go-kart racing this summer, I assume.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, hopefully if all this stuff gets taken care of so we can go racing. Yeah, Jack, he's itching to go. And you're right. He was right on my shoulder telling me, you're not going to make it on fuel. You're not going to make it on fuel. It's hilarious.
Well, great job. Glad to have you with us, and thanks for participating here tonight. It's good fun.
Thanks for announcing, Tony, and I'm just glad to be a part of this deal. It's fun.
That's Johnny Anderson, drives the number 7 car. And let's see if we can get Matthew Johnson on the mic here with us as well. Matt and Jamie Ball put on this great series of races. And Matt, you got to do a little racing tonight, but I know you work really hard on this. And you said to me maybe yesterday it was that this iRacing's consuming your life, but I think the fans really appreciate it. So thanks for what you guys are doing here tonight. Good job. And we just missed him there by just a second as he headed up into the trailer. Well, race fans, that's going to do it. Again, we want to say a special thanks to all of our sponsors here tonight. Again, Hube's Garage, Premium Sprint Car Parts, Nate Mills, Shane Phillips and TL Racing, Bell Helmets, Sign Creations, Top Shelf Racing Podcast, our friends at My Race Pass. Don't forget, hashtag get the app. Make sure you do that soon. Diamond Auto Detailing, Best Christmas Ever Iowa, True Build Construction, Kyle McCullough, HostIowa.net, powered by Nemeth Racing Electronics, DZ Metal Art, Design Metal Art, Corleano's Pizza, Wayne Johnson, Higday Lawn Care, and of course, our friends at Champion Race Promotions. As I mentioned earlier, there's so much to tell you about Champion Race Promotions that you just need to go online and go to championracepromotions.com, and you can find out more. Follow them on Facebook at Champion Race Promotions. And before we get off of here, it looks like Jamie Ball has made his way back out to have a word with us here real quick, and we'll see if we can get him and Matthew Johnson here in just a minute. So we'll get a word with Jamie first. Jamie, I was just talking about you and Matt do a lot of work to get this thing put on, and really appreciate it. But most importantly, you had a good run here tonight.
I did. One of my good buddies is Justin Cox, and he gave me some tips. As you can see, he ran second, so took a little bit of advice from him, and just used some good throttle control, and was able to have a good run tonight. And just got to thank Matt. He's really the one that's been putting in all the effort on this to get us all here tonight.
Well, great job, and thanks for what you guys are doing to help kind of take away some of this monotony of us not getting to go racing. And I know this little 3-race series has been a lot of fun for the fans. So thanks for what you do, and great job here tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Tony. You're the one that's kind of made this thing go. Everybody misses hearing your voice, and we can't wait to get back racing here shortly.
I appreciate that. That's Jamie Ball, driver of the White Lightning Motorsports 5J. And we're going to give one more shot at Matthew Johnson. He says he's there, and we'll see if we can get a word with him as well. here in just a moment. I believe we've got him in the chat now. Matthew, my man, can you hear me?
Yes. You got me.
Well, great job tonight. I know you told me a day or so ago that this iRacing consuming your life, but what a great product we have here. The second night of a 3-race series, and a lot of great partners, but Champion Race Promotions coming on board tonight to put on a great show.
Yeah, definitely. It's a little stressful doing it, but come Thursday night, it really pays off. But really, thank you to everyone. If you're still watching right now, we appreciate you. You guys are what brought us back. Knoxville loves it. They love that you guys tune in. And keep tuning in, and we're going to keep doing this. As long as you're watching, we'll be there as much as we can. And also, like you said, huge thanks to, Champion Race Promotions. They're working with me this year. They're great. Please get a hold of Lori. If you are interested in something like that, they help drivers and help promote them and take care of them. It's really a great thing.
Well, thanks a lot for what you do. Good run, good racing tonight, and maybe a little bit later on tonight, I'll let you beat me if we do a little racing.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Sounds great. You and I can tag the back. I told all the guys earlier. I told all the guys earlier today. I said, as much work as I put in this, I better make the A main. So, so I love it. It's all in fun. It's great to have everyone here. It's great for the fans to tune in. It's an all around great thing for the sport right now. I hope people keep, backing it and keep enjoying it.
All right. That's Matthew Johnson, driver of the Champion Race Promotions car number 2. Glad to have him here again tonight. So, what a great night of racing. And, one thing that I got a lot of tweets about last week was playing Happy Trails. And, of course, I don't have that again tonight, but we're working through some copyright issues to be able to play that. Maybe next week we'll be able to do that. But that's going to do it here from Virtual Knoxville here tonight. Again, I want to thank Darren Detweiler for all his help here tonight, working behind the scenes. He's been feverishly clicking around, keeping me on the air here tonight. So I want to say special thanks to him. Our friends at Pushing the Cushion Productions for hosting tonight's race on their YouTube channel. And, of course, all of our fine sponsors and everyone at the Knoxville Raceway. We do want to, again, wish you all our best. And for those of you that are struggling with the virus, we hope that you pull through that well. And we wish you and your families all the best. And we look forward to getting you back to the real racetrack as soon as possible. And, again, special thanks to our sponsor tonight, Lori Cutter from Champion Race Promotions. So glad to have you with us, and follow them online as well at championracepromotions.com. That's going to do it from Announcer Booth Central in the heart of beautiful Pella, Iowa, where I bid you adieu and say see you next Thursday night for championship night of the 3-night series of the Knoxville Virtual Racing Series. Good night. Have a good one.